What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Stock Holiday, right back at you again with the latest and the greatest in these cryptocurrency markets. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, press that subscribe button. Now let's get it. Welcome back. Miss y'all. I've been gone for about a week. YouTube had me on lockdown, shut me down for 7 days, but I'm back. It feels good to be right back in the house with the family. Shouts out to y'all for patiently waiting on your boy to return. So now I got to get this YouTube disclaimer out the way. This is not financial advice. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell any cryptocurrency. This video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before you invest into anything, please consult with a professional financial advisor. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and talk like we talk. So what I'm going to talk about today is when to be exiting cryptocurrency, when to be selling cryptocurrency. I'm going to tell you about what I will be doing. I can't tell you what to do. Don't want to mislead you into any way. I'm just going to talk about what Stock Holiday will be doing. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Currently, right now, Bitcoin is still holding strong. It's still holding steady. That is one of the positive things about the current situation of the market. $118,600 is a great level for Bitcoin to be at. We did see 123,000 about 10 days ago. 10 days ago. That's excellent. That's great. Now we're right back down 118. I think we even saw 116. Those are excellent. That's an excellent support level for Bitcoin to be at, if that is the new support level. So that is something that we can lean on, something that we can continue to have great hope that, you know what, things are going in the right direction. Bitcoin dominance, 60.88% as of today. We saw the Bitcoin dominance drop below 60 cents. That is something that we have been waiting to see for a very long time. We're talking about months. We finally saw Bitcoin dip below the 60% dominance. That was another accomplishment, another check off the box that we could place on our vision board. Fear and Greed Index is at 67. No big deal. That is right where we would like the Fear and Greed Index to be at. We don't want to see it in extreme greed yet. This gives our altcoins, it gives Bitcoin a lot more chance, a lot more momentum to pump, while the Fear and Greed Index is fairly in the middle. 67 is not very high, but we will be watching the Fear and Greed Index indicator on a daily basis. Ethereum right now, $3,660. We've seen Ethereum have a nice pump a few weeks ago or last week. We got to $3,800 for Ethereum. Now we're at $3,660. That is a great position for Ether to be in. 11.36% for Ethereum. What do you think is going on? What do you think is transpiring, considering that Ethereum is almost at 12% dominance? You remember, for so long we saw 7%, 8%. Now we have almost doubled that 7% dominance. That right there is huge. That right there is declaring and showing phase 2 is official. Old man Ether is running laps around Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin is still strong, don't underestimate Bitcoin. Don't play Bitcoin for being something that is not powerful and explosive, because we know it is. But Ethereum is doing what Ethereum is supposed to be doing right now, and that gives us trust and gives us more confirmation to continue to stand on the 4-year cycle, because things are playing out like we have been talking about and like we have been hoping. So that gives us some comfort. It gives me some comfort in knowing that, okay, we are doing the right things. The market is doing the right things. Let's continue to stay disciplined, and as we navigate through the rest of this cycle that we're in. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I will be paying attention to as far as when I will be exiting, as far as when I will be selling my cryptocurrency positions. One of the things we're going to pay attention to is the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index notoriously have always shown that when we see extreme greed, you want to be ready to start taking profits. I'm not going to be taking everything out when I see extreme greed, but it depends on what part of the market that we're in. what part of the cycle that we're in. What have we been doing this whole time? We've been trusting the 4-year cycle. What have I been doing? I don't even think I could say we. Maybe YouTube don't like when I say we, so I'm gonna say I. What have I been doing this whole time? I have been trusting the 4-year cycle. I've been standing on the 4-year cycle. When folks were saying altcoin season was over earlier in the year, I said, nah, man, I'm still gonna trust the 4-year cycle. It should be ending towards the end of 2025. So far, we have been proven to be correct. That was not the top of the cycle in December 2024 or January 2025. We have seen great levels since then. So that right there debunks that theory or that notion when folks were saying that altcoin season was over, we're in a bear market, et cetera, et cetera. So when I do see extreme greed, my finger's going to be on the trigger. I will be taking profits. Typically, about 500 days after the Bitcoin halving is where we see the top of the cycle. So it depends on when that extreme greed indicator starts to ring off. If the extreme greed indicator is anywhere near 450, 400 days after the Bitcoin halving, that could be it. That could be the signal that, you know what, folks, start to wrap it up. That could be that knock at the door that I've been talking about. You talking about 500 days after the Bitcoin halving? That's typically the top. So if we see extreme greed and it's about 450 days, guess what? Come on home. Come on downstairs. I'm ready. I'm waiting on you. You've been doing a lot of great work over the past few years, maybe over the past months. Maybe you're a newbie, but once you hear that knock, you got to go. I got to go. I got to take profits. I have to be ready to exit. I have to be ready to sell my crypto because the only way I can make profit is if I sell. I can't be sitting around holding this doggone thing thinking that it's going to continue to explode in 2026. Maybe it will, but I have to make sure that I am securing profits. I don't want to run my portfolio all the way up to $7,000, run it all the way up to $13,000 from $500, and then see it come all the way back down to $1,500. I do not want to experience those type of drastic losses by not taking profits, by being greedy. I will be taking my profits at that particular time. So if we see fear and greed index before that 500, 400 day mark, then I'm going to be taking portions of profits because what I remember from the last cycle, I remember during altcoin season that we did see extreme greed, and the extreme greed did not come and go real quick. That extreme greed stayed there for a while. And what was the altcoins doing? The market was exploding. So I'm got that in the back of my mind. I'm understand that altcoin season, especially this altcoin season, we know that this cycle is different. So knowing that this entire cycle is different, that's also to be said that this altcoin season is going to be different. Things have been lining up kind of the same. We talked about phase 1 and phase 2 and how phase 2, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. So things are lining up as far as what phase 2 should be doing, what phase 1 has done, but the timing of how long phase 1 took, the timing of how long will phase 2 last? Who knows? Nobody could have expected phase 1 to last so long. So how long will phase 2 last? Will phase 2 be cut short considering the fact that phase 1 was lengthened? Did phase 1 take up some of the shine, some of the time from phase 2? These are some of the things that are on our vision board when we are discussing what is going on, when we're preparing when to exit, when to sell, when to take profits. Because, oh yeah, we will be walking away with a large bag this cycle. Last cycle was our stepping stone. That's where we learned a lot by getting burned. Like they say, experience is one of the best teachers. We gained so much experience during the last cycle. 2020, 2021, I gained a wealth of experience in the stock market. I gained a wealth of experience in cryptocurrency. What am I doing now? Taking that experience that I learned, that expensive experience, cost me a lot. And I'm dominating this particular cycle. Even over there in the stock market, a lot of the things that I learned the last cycle, a lot of the stocks that I was in the last cycle, I'm kicking their butt this time. Altcoins, how I was navigating the last cycle, I'm kicking their butt this time because I'm navigating differently. What I'm doing, I'm focusing and staying tuned and trusting the 4 year cycle. As I trust the 4 year cycle, I must make sure that I stay disciplined. I can't say we. So when I say I, maybe you should hear we, but I can't say it. So I'm staying disciplined as I continue to focus on the 4 year cycle. Main thing I'm making sure that I am not doing, I am not going to be chasing these green plays. It is very easy to chase these green plays when the market is pumping up and you see these coins exploding. You see pudgy penguins exploding green, Bunk exploding green, Ethereum name, all these coins exploding green. It is easy to chase these plays. It is easy to buy when it's green. I have to become disciplined and continue to buy when the market is red. I have to become disciplined and make sure that I'm not buying and chasing these plays. That's what I was doing last cycle. Last cycle, I was getting excited. When the market was green and everything was happy-go-lucky, I was buying. I was buying and chasing these plays, buying them. These plays were up 35, 40, 50% in one day. What was I doing? I was buying the green, working backwards. When the market was red, kind of like it is right now, like it was yesterday, I was scared. I said, nah, man, the market's red. I'm not about to buy it right now. I did not know any better. Now that I know better this cycle from what I learned and experienced the previous cycle, when you know better, you do better. What I'm doing now, when I see these red days, if I have some dry powder, if I need to beef up my position in any play, I'm taking that dry powder, I'm buying these dips. When if I see 10% down, come on now, I got to eat it up. If I see 15, 20% down, oh, come on now. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. The red days are the best days, in my opinion. That is how you stay disciplined. That is how you focus and make sure you are continuing to move and dominate accordingly. You have to strategize. You have to have a plan. You have to stay disciplined and focused on what the end game and the goal is. The goal is to buy low and sell high. The goal is to do as much research as you can and try to figure out when is the best time for you to exit as the CEO of your own portfolio. When's the best time for you to dollar cost average in and buy as the CEO of your own portfolio? These are some of the things that is going to take us a very long way. We are towards the end of July, kind of midway, end of July. Time is going by quick. Seemed like we just started July last week. Time is going by quick. December 2025 will be here before you know it. Also, make sure that we don't get caught up in what the news headlines are telling us. Not going to get caught up in this large institution doing this large institution doing that. That is another thing we got tripped up on the last cycle. These large institutions know a lot more than we do. They have some of the smartest financial gurus in the world working for them. They are not going to be buying crypto at an all-time high. They're not going to be buying at high prices. They're not going to be buying when the market is green. They understand what the heck that they're doing. They're not going to be holding for too long. Just like we know what the 4 year cycle is, do you think they know? Just like we know what a bear market is and what crypto winter is, do you think that they know? Do you think they're still going to be plowing in millions and billions of dollars at the top? Or do you think they're going to be selling, taking profits and not telling us? These are some of the things you have to be protecting yourself of. You may see some news, you may see new headlines. Do not buy all the news headlines that you're seeing. A lot of times they just put stuff out there just so they can play on our emotions. We are the ones that are emotional. We are the emotional investors. That's why it's so important for us to stay disciplined, stick to the fundamentals that we have been following, and continue to trust the 4 year cycle. Our portfolios may be green and doing well 450 days after the Bitcoin halving. Mm, it is always the right time to sell at the top. Sell when it's green. Oh, I think it might keep going up. Do not get greedy. If you see extreme fear and greed index to get to extreme greed, and we're about 450, 470 days after the Bitcoin halving, do not get greedy. Continue to stay disciplined and focus on what our fundamentals are. Continue to stand on the 4-year cycle. And if you're standing on the 4-year cycle, you already know what to do when we get close to 500 days after the Bitcoin halving. You already know what to do when we get close to extreme greed or deep into extreme greed. So make sure you guys continue to stay focused, continue to dollar cost average in where necessary, and most importantly, we're going to continue to dominate this 2025 bull market. We have been doing such a great job so far. The dips dip, we were buying the dips. Now we can kick back and we can see our portfolios really elevate to great levels like we're seeing right now. So we still may see some dips and some corrections along the way. Hey, if we do see that, come what will, come what may, we're going to find some dry powder and we are going to continue to stay disciplined and stick to the fundamentals like we've been doing for the past few years, or some of you guys are new for the past few months. So come on over there, join us in the Patreon. We have a great cryptocurrency community that love to talk about crypto all day, every day. But like I say, I just continue to come to you guys every day just to continue to give you that good encouragement. Coming to you guys every day to give you that good motivation. And that's all I got for you on this one. It's your boy, Stock Holiday, and I'm out.